So here we are in the Abbey churchyard at the side of the Roman Baths. You can see the terrace up there, and we're going to be walking up there shortly. But we had some time to kill and we thought we'd take a look around. Here's another shot of the side of the Roman Baths and the Abbey churchyard. And here we are in front of the Roman Baths themselves. We're just waiting in line for our tour guide from Premium Tours, John, to hand out tickets. John was an amazing guy, knew a lot of stuff. Well, obviously it's his job, but he was pretty cool about everything.
So just come right up. Who's not coming to the Roman Baths? Is anyone not coming?
This is what our ticket looked like. Once you step inside, the first thing you notice is the architecture of the entranceway. Now it's a magnificent Victorian reception hall. This was built in the late 1890s, I believe, at a time when there was a lot of interest in antiquities. And in Queen Victoria's later years, they renovated, kind of rediscovered and renovated the site. It had been falling in disrepair and ruin for centuries. And they started to rebuild it. And this was one of the things they did. They had like now out in the terrace, we could walk around overlooking the Great Bath, and it's lined with Victorian statues. I at first thought they were Roman made, and they've been discovered and restored as much as possible, but no, they're built in 1894 when they first reopened this site. It's funny that the Roman baths extend under the modern ground level beneath adjacent streets and squares, and it's a huge complex. They only let you go through a fraction of it. Here we are, we're looking down upon the Great Bath. You can see the statues go all the way around. And there's so many people there. More shots of the Great Bath. Eventually we'll get down to that level. Can't really tell how deep it is, which is to think if it's deep, you could go jump off the balustrade there and plunge into the water like a dive. That'd be cool. Yeah. There you go.
It's really good at that.
Yeah, but it didn't look like that. They cleaned it. It's called Aqua Sulis. How old this is. Romans knew how to build. Some of this has been restored.
I'm not doing mine, it's annoying. Oh, I don't want to hold this.
Look at the elephants. Look at the architecture up there. Pretty cool. Lions, elephants. That one's Julius Augustus. Caesar's supposed to be in here too. Water doesn't look good, but I've swam in something like that before too. They had like heated ones and cold ones. Of course there'd be a roof here, right? 20 meters above by its high ceiling. Now this is a shot from the second story of the sacred spring itself at the very heart of the site. It has naturally hot water. The temperature of 46 degrees Celsius. Rises here every day and has been doing so for thousands of years, so it is a hot spring. And in Britain are hot springs adorned with sumptuous splendor for the use of mortals. Minerva is patron goddess of these. Salinas, 3rd century AD.
The reservoir?
Ruins. So that would be water channel? Not sure what that is. These are just some of the artifacts they've dredged up from the spring itself and the surrounding area. These look either like ceiling roof troughs or water channels for various runoff springs. But it looks more like an eaves trough to me. That's what it would look. That's what it would have looked like in the 1st century here. That's the way. That's what it would look like. Here is a model of what Aqua Sulis used to look like back when the Romans were in power. I think this would make a great setup for my Lord of the Rings strategy battle game courtesy of Warhammer. I'd love to have one of these in my home. So now we're going to the Temple Pennant. This was at the front of the Temple of Sulis Minerva and was supported by 4 massive columns. You look down on visitors in the temple courtyard from a height of 15 meters. Its powerful imagery dominated the scene. And again, we have inner temple, the eternal flames never whiten to ash, but rather when the fire dies away, it turns into rocky round masses. Silenus, Platanete Rerum Memorabilia 2210, 3rd century AD. So Silenus was a 3rd century writer writing about Aqua Sulis. And that's what the front of the temple would have looked like. You're allowed to touch it. Now here is what's left of the front of the temple, what they've managed to salvage. Over the centuries, people have stolen stone from this site to rebuild their own houses and buildings. It's something that always happens, but not everything has been taken away. That's the original front, and they have a picture behind it, or a screen behind it to show you the whole thing, but that's what they've managed to salvage. Here we are at the front of the temple with it in the backdrop. It's the front of the temple, what's left of it, what they managed to salvage. This one's got writing on it.
That one has writing, that's cool.
That's pretty cool. In the museum, they have a nice collection of the remains of tombstones. There was a Roman cemetery nearby, and a lot of the markers have been damaged or simply destroyed, but these are some of the ones they could find pieces of. Another example of a tombstone.
The soldiers were the ones that just found.
Yeah. Still has been sitting here for a couple.
Is that one?
That's a gravestone of Antigonus.
Is that the one?
Possibly. Yes. Of the 20th Legion.
No, it's this one.
No, that's the Calvary one. Oh, okay. Gravestone of.
That one they did
Yes. And this is a tombstone of a Roman legionnaire, a trooper, cavalryman, and it's Lucius Vitellius Tancinius, son of Mentius, a tribesman of Carem in Spain, a trooper of the cavalry regiment of Vitones, Roman citizens, age 46, of 26 years service, lies buried here. So he was from Spain. He was a tribesman of Carem, gives his full name and who he's the son of. He joined the regiments at the age of 20, did 26 years of service and retired as a Roman citizen, and retired in Bath. He was probably serving in the Roman legion station in Britain. Doesn't give a date of when he served, but there is the actual tombstone itself. This one's the gravestone of Tacinus.
It's a gravestone.
Son of Mantus, a tribesman of Carem in Spain, trooper of the cavalry regiment of the Vitones, Roman citizen, age 46, of 26 years
That's
service.
a cavalryman right there. It's on the wall. The one on the wall is the cabinet, and this one is that one. The Nelson of Antigonus.
This one is this one because
Yeah,
this
I
one.
know.
Yeah. Cool.
Julius Vitalis.
Vitalis. Came from the Belgae.
He died in
That's cool. That's a mosaic you find on the floor. Tessera. Our time team found one in a farmer's field like that. It was like this. Now here we have a mosaic floor. Mosaic floors are found in the best rooms of private houses and public buildings. Aquatic scenes with sea beasts were popular designs. This is probably a 3rd, 4th century from a house in Aqua Sulis, and that's the remains of it. Pretty impressive.
Definitely, put it down here.
Yes. Definitely Aqua Sulis. Centurion of the 2nd Legion, I guess. Commission was the only. Huh.
So he came from Syria.
Yeah. Part of the Roman legions. Pretty cool.
What a beautiful one. Oh, you see this one already?
Yeah, this is that one. We just gotta go this way later. A man from Aqua Sulis.
He lived and died here.
Yeah. I love looking at this stuff.
I know.
Gaius Calpurnius Receptus, priest in charge of the temple of Sulis Minerva. This green show is in the shape of an altar. It's the only memorial from Roman Britain in which the occupation of the deceased is reflected. Okay. That's cool. More stuff. Temple courtyard. Just mask.
I just felt
Butchers and spring building. So the original foundations. That's pretty cool. Doesn't smell the best, but because it's been soaked in water and buried in the ground. It's just like a basement. It's like a basement area without a sub pump. Temples. God, I like how the Romans built stuff. Romans and the Greeks. Yeah. Now we're going down into the sub-basement area, so under the street level, into the foundations. Picture of us with some of the foundation work. It actually goes deeper, and again, you see the foundation stones. So this is a replica of Minerva's head. You're allowed to touch it. The real one is made of gilded bronze head.
touch.
Gilt bronze sculptures are rare finds, as only 2 fragments are known. And it's probably from the cult statue of the deity which stood within the temple beside the sacred spring, dating from the 1st century. Another different stone carving of Minerva. Okay. Offerings to the goddess. Getting close to the water anyway. Yeah, I see a bubble here. English water. Look at that statue up there. That looks weird. English. The last part of the tour, we go back. Feel the heat coming off it. It's like like my hot tub. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I can feel it. Okay, I'm gonna go to the pool.
That's pretty cool. Here we are looking at one of the hot springs, or springs that feed into Aqua Sulis itself. More of the foundations. The water to come down. How they lift these stones to the bath. That's pretty cool. 118 kilos as a whole for the Lewis boat using a pulley. We lived with a hemp rope when we went through.
Plain rock and turning it into something like this. So it's an example. He's showing us an example of how they would have made that. Can you?
Looking at the Bow Street hoard. Archaeologists found this hoard of 17,577 Roman silver coins buried in the corner of a Roman building 150 meters from here. The coins were hidden in 8 leather bags and date from 32 BC to 275 AD. I am born in the wrong country. I would love to have found this in my home. Can you imagine? This is one of the largest Roman coin hoards ever found in a Roman town. Damn, I'm never find anything like this here. Lucky to find a penny on the street anymore. And those are a replica of the fused coins in bag 4.
From the back.
Alright, so now me and my wife were down on the Great Bath, on the main floor of the bath, on the street level. The water didn't look any better from this angle either. And it's just got this sickly green color. It doesn't look too appealing. I've swam in some pretty murky water, but I don't know if I'd want to go in there. I don't know why they don't try and clean it up, but then it'd be too many people who want to take a dip. Nice shot from the bottom. The water looks a little better. Not by much though. You can actually walk down the stone steps into the bath, but they don't want you to touch the water. My wife out by the bath taking selfies of herself. Me meeting a Roman guard or a reenactor, and it's kind of cool.
There we go.
I just want to sit down and lift my feet up.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Let me sit up something so I can lift my feet up. But I don't want to get any more of that thing to my legs. My leg is killing me. Go.
Even the stone tiles. You can zoom some out with that.
This angle is good.
It's pretty cool. Watch your feet.
Is it an exit? Oh,
No. Well, it's a fire exit.
oh, this is it. What's the exit?
Oh yeah. Just going in through here. You have to follow the whole thing, eh? Come on.
Alright, this is the cold spring or cold bath. It's in the interior. Now Romans, when they had baths, they had like the hot bath, the warm bath or tepid bath, like lukewarm water, and then they had the cold bath. This would have been blocked off and there would have been cold water pumped in. The Romans were great believers in doing all three.
This is the cold room, the plunge.
Well, I'm going to sleep over there. Go on.
Okay.
It's like the gym or something.
Hey, see me. Can't go through there, but there's more. Pretty sure there's the green. So this is like the sauna. They were sitting here, heated blocks. Pretty cool stuff. Here, here's the original. Pipes. It's all lead. Where she is? Oh, she is over there.
Me and my wife again, we moved to another part of the Great Bath and taking pictures of her. It was pretty surreal. There's a lot of people there. It's hard to read everything. You don't have time to read everything, and you could spend a whole day here if you had the time to read everything and go through every part they allow you to. But because we're on a tour group, we only have so much time. There's so many people. You just feel rushed. I regret not getting... I didn't even get a photo of the curse tablets. I saw them, but never took a picture or a video of them. because the curse tablets are kind of interesting to read. Like, most of them are pretty mundane, like whoever cursing the person who stole their clothes or towel. Well, that concludes our trip through the Bath Museum, short as it was. It's time now to head out, get a pint of beer before getting back on the tour bus and traveling back to London. We're going to continue our touring London and eventually make it all the way to where my ancestors came from. So stay tuned.